Solicitors. Really good to be with you. We are live on the Facebook page right now. I've got Gordon and Fraser and Tom in the studio in Haverfordwest. Fraser's doing his bit, keeping me up to date with the Tottenham game because I've come to do the show this evening. Left my iPad downstairs and I'm just following it on text whilst concentrating on the show. Is it still 1-0, Fraser?
It is. You're still 1-up. Raheem Sterling has just had a VAR goal ruled out, so you're living dangerously.
Good old VAR helping us out. I'll take that. And we are going to talk to our next guest, though, about another sport. Actually, I don't think we've covered loads on the show, and it's a really good time to do so as well, because it's a sport that Pembrokeshire really punches its weight in and has got really good history on. So Rhydian Rees is our guest, and we're talking short mat bowls this evening. Rhydian, how are you?
Yeah, not too bad, thanks. Thank you for having me on.
Well, it's great to have you on, and we're going to find out about an excellent competition you're taking part in next month, and hopefully we get people along to watch because it's in Pembrokeshire. But for people watching right now, we get people watching from all over the place. Tell us a bit about short mat bowls, and in particular, how it's taken off in the county.
Well, it's one of the lesser known bowls sports. So we play on quite a short mat. I think the clue is in the title of the sport. Played then with a block of wood in the middle of the mat. So you have to go around the wood and you have to stay within certain lines when you're bowling. So we like to think that it's a bit more skillful than other bowls. So yeah, it's good fun.
And in Pembrokeshire, it's fair to say we've had a lot of success, haven't we? What do you put that down to, and what's the background in the county as to why it's taken off?
I just think it's played in the right spirit wherever we play. It doesn't matter if of your gender, so you can be male, female. Age doesn't come into it. You can have grandparents playing with grandchildren, and it just draws quite a wide range into the sport. It's been going now for over 30 years, and Pembrokeshire have been Welsh champions on 20 occasions out of the 30 times that they've played the Welsh County Championships, and we're on a bit of a run at the moment of winning the last 10 as well.
Wow. Fraser?
I mean, Rhydian, that's just there. You summarised it well with just that stat, but I mean, tremendous success, as Ben alluded to, in Pembrokeshire Short Mat Bowls in terms of winning titles, national titles, Welsh internationals, of course, to the current group now. What's the secret to that? Is it the work that's put in that elevates you above other counties around, or is it just have an abundance of talent for the sport around you?
I'm not sure on the answer to that question, really. I think talent does play a part, but I think the competition within the county is so high that it just keeps improving our game. And currently we've got Hook, Tam and Spite and the Meads, three really strong clubs that have lots of representation in the Welsh team, and they push each other really, really hard to improve their game, and the competition is really high. And
I remember actually, I think we're going back probably pre-COVID as we go with every date we refer to now, don't we? I think I came down that night you had, when we were doing a feature for the Western Telegraph at the time, and it was a good social occasion. I think I remember. I think it was friendly atmosphere. People had a couple of drinks, and it did. I'll be honest, it changed my perception of the sport, because there can be a lazy perception that it is a slow, dull, mundane game, and is that perception now changing? Do you think, Rhydian?
I think it's still there. I think, unfortunately, I have my leg pulled for, playing an old man sport.
Right.
But in the recent World Championships, Wales went with a team of 20, and the oldest player was 39. So, it's really not. And, I think if you came down to Heatherton, you'd see just the energy that is put in by all the players, and the noise and the excitement that comes around our sport.
Mm.
I was going to ask, in fact, Gordon, come in just one sec. I was just going to ask about the age range of people in the county that take part, Rhydian, and are you still churning out new people getting involved, and does that mean that the future of short mat bowls in Pembrokeshire continues to look good?
Unfortunately, we numbers have declined quite a bit. post-COVID. I think unfortunately, it is quite an aging population that play still at the moment, but we are trying to get out there, trying to get our sport, out into the public. And Hook are doing a tremendous job at the moment, and they've got players down that are primary age. And they're doing a really good job of promoting that out there, and that's what we're trying to do now. We're trying to get our sport out there to the public, and I think if you came down to Heatherton, I think you'd have a bit of a surprise at our sport and how it's not that slow, mundane game that you think it is.
Go on, Gordon.
I don't mean to be rude, Rhydian, but if you played on grass, you probably attract possibly some younger players onto grass. So why can't you do that with the short mat bowls? It sounds to me it's a great game. You're playing indoors. The weather isn't going to interfere with it. As far as Fraser is concerned, there's a bar there. So how about trying to get youngsters into the game? Have you thought of developing in that way? You say you keep saying it's an old man's game. But really, the younger you get involved in any type of sport, the better you will become. You can harness those skills or whatnot, and you've got plenty of experience within your club and the clubs around the county to do that. Have you ever thought of that sort of going in that direction?
Yeah, I mean, we're trying to think of ways to reach out to schools, being in contact with Sport Pembrokeshire, and trying to get some advice moving forward with that. But it is still really quite hard to battle against a Saturday morning, Sunday morning, football and rugby, and the mainstream sports, and that's the thing. People don't know about our sport, so. If it's not out there in the public, then they're not going to come as well. So that's why we're trying to push this weekend in particular to come along and have a go and see what it's all about.
The details are actually coming up on the screen for people who are watching on Facebook. On the 2nd and 3rd of December, Heatherton is going to be the venue for a really exciting weekend of short mat bowls. Rhydian, tell us about the British Top Team tournament and why people should come along.
So as Welsh champions, we go through then to represent Wales against the other British countries. Ireland and England, Scotland are hoping to come back into it soon. As champions, it's our turn to host it, and we're hosting it in Pembrokeshire in Heatherton. So we play against the champions of England, which are Dorset at the moment, and the champions of Ireland, which are North West. So it is a real weekend of international bowls. We've got plenty of internationals within our squad, and the same with Dorset and Ireland. So it will be good quality bowls.
Are you captaining the Welsh side, Rhydian?
No, I'm not currently captain. I'm currently chairman of the association. So our captain is Kate Hudson-Brown this year. I was lucky enough to be captain 4 years ago when we won it in Heatherton, being the only Welsh county to win it. So, it was great honour for me to be chosen as captain and to lift that trophy. And I'll be backing Kate every step of the way to hopefully bring it back home again to us this year.
And tell us about the tournament over the weekend and what's the format? And obviously, brilliant that it's being staged at Heatherton. I remember that being built, so it's great that it's staging such a great tournament. But what's the format for the weekend? How does it work?
So each county then will put a team of 20 together, and they'll be split into A and B, and they'll be played over singles, pairs, triples, and rinks. So we'll play each country twice in that format. And also we'll play each country in a format of 24 players, so 6 lots of 4, and international rinks. So it's there's lots of bowls to be played, lots of points to be had, and last time it did go down to the last wood that was bowled. So it could be a pretty exciting weekend.
We're going to come on to that now. You say that actually, you talk about it going down to the last wood that was bowled. I'm quite intrigued in the mental side of the game, because obviously you need the skill, that goes without saying, and the practice, but it's a high pressure game, isn't it? When they're all eyes on you towards the end. How do you prepare for
Yeah,
this, especially in an international tournament like this one? How do you prepare for the pressure of it?
I think it's just practice and a bit of experience. Like I alluded to, that we've got plenty of internationals in our side, and it is playing that competition within the clubs, within the county. On the world stage, we've currently got 3 world champions in Pembrokeshire. Jonathan Gladstone and Andrew Hudson winning back-to-back pairs titles, which the first pair to ever do that, which is a huge achievement. Yeah. And Jamie Styles is a triples world champion, and before that, the year before, we had Mark Thorpe, Andrew Evans, and Alan Evans, who were triples world champions. So the experience is definitely there, and the challenge and the competition that we play, it does bring that kind of pressure bowls. So you try and get used to it, really. And like I said, you played that last wood, everyone was watching, everyone, and I still watch the video now and again, and it's brilliant. So yeah, fair play.
Just ahead of it, I'm sure you'll be confident going into it on the 2nd and 3rd of December, Rhydian. Who are the favourites to win the title? In with a chance?
I'd like to think that we have got a bit of a chance. Home mats. It's Dorset's first time in the competition, and Northwest haven't played in it for a good few years now. So, hopefully our experience will pay off a little bit there. So, don't want to be overconfident, but I do think we have got a chance.
When you say home mats there, mate, is it? Are you talking about the just because of the familiarity of the venue, or can that be something? Can mats, differ slightly in certain venues?
Yeah, mats can change quite a lot. We play in village halls with clubs, and the floorings there can be very interesting. And playing on different floors underneath the mats can have a huge difference. Temperature can change it. So you have faster mats, slower mats, swingier mats. So yeah, it does vary. So hopefully, playing in our own venue, it will help us.
Yeah. And for people watching and listening, Rhydian, why would you encourage them to come down to Heatherton on the 2nd and 3rd of December? Perfect opportunity to find out about a sport that Pembrokeshire really does well in.
Yeah, I think come down and have a look, and I think you'll have your opinion changed of a sport that is, going in a little bit under the radar. So come along, and I think you'll be surprised.
And just interested how you got into it as well, because I understand you've played other sports as well, but really successful. And I know you're very modest, but your success in short mat bowls is phenomenal. How did that come about? Why did you get into the sport in the first place?
I just got dragged down to a village hall, come and have a go. And I got on the mat, and I did all right. So, I've played sport all my life, and the ambition was always to play for your country. And as I was getting a bit older, those kind of opportunities were becoming very few and far between. And I took it on and enjoyed it. And yeah, it's a great laugh, as well as all the competition as well.
I was going to ask you about that, because we always talk on the show, and Gordon Fraser played in teams as well. How does the camaraderie in short mat bowls compare with other sports that you've played in?
Well, I think like any Welsh team, really, we've got the British Isles now coming up in a couple of weeks, up in Prestatyn, and in the past we go walk on together as a team, and while other countries are walking on, we've got a bit of Calon Lan going in the background, and after the last wood has been bowled, then in the bar having a good old sing song, and everyone's just really friendly with each other. Competition is there when we play within counties and clubs, but when we play together, the team spirit is brilliant, and that does help.
Excellent stuff. Well, all the details are up on the screen, and this video is going to stay on the Pure West Radio Facebook page as well. I'm sure Fraser and Gordon could be tempted to pop down as well on the weekend of the 2nd and 3rd of December at Heatherton, especially now Fraser knows the bar's open as well.
You've still got those skills, Fraser.
Yeah.
I've only had to go once. I did it once at Heatherton years ago, and I was awful. So I'd definitely be up for having another go. Yeah, that'd be really good. Listen, Rhydian, you're a brilliant advocate for your sport. It's always good to talk to people on this show who are really passionate about what they do, and you clearly are. So well done with everything you've done so far. Good luck for the 2nd and 3rd of December. You'll have to come back on and tell us how you get on, because we'd love to hear from you again.
Thank you very much. Yeah, brilliant.
Thanks very much indeed. Yeah, thanks for your time. We will just take a moment. We'll have a quick break, and we'll come back for the final part of this evening's Pure West Sport.
Pure West Sports Show